best-selling book, The Devil Wears Prada, is coming to life on the big screen, and two-time Oscar winner Meryl Streep stars as the meanest head of the world's biggest fashion magazine, and Anne Hathaway plays her new assistant, who is in for, let's face it, a hell of a time. Take a look. Don't you love her? Please welcome Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway. What a delicious role, and how we all love that film. We've all seen. And that sweet voice.
Yes.
Your voice is
never
so
raises
sweet.
her voice.
Yeah.
I raise my voice. I raise my voice in my life.
In this movie, the fact that you don't raise your voice makes you much more scary.
It does. Oh, yeah.
Much scarier.
I got that from Clint Eastwood.
Oh.
He never raises his voice on the set. And there's no one more sort of intimidating to the fellow.
That's clever.
You know, so we were talking, and I you know, did it as a little bit of a tease, and what you have to give up in order to become a great success. You have 4 children. The youngest is a 15-year-old girl still at home.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've had
my neck hurts already.
You've worked, you know, from the time almost that these kids were born. How do you balance it?
Had really great babysitters, when I worked. But really, show business is the equivalent of flex time for me. You know, it's the way all America should work. You work a little bit, you're off a little bit. You work a little bit, you know, it's great for kids. I'm home more than most working women all through my career. Yeah. Because I was unemployed. I mean, you take the gamble.
When were you unemployed?
Well,
you were never unemployed.
Barely. Excuse me, you have more Oscar nominations than any human being on the face of the earth. You do. And that's not, I didn't just make that number up. I'm a little obsessed here. I'm in the presence of the greatest living actors of all time.
You simply maximize. Does it help, by the way, while on this, does it help to have a helpful husband?
Yeah. He's amazing. He's got a sort of a relatively even keel, you know.
He doesn't
so
raise
I'm
his
allowed
voice.
to go, you know, and he's kind of the straight and narrow. He's great.
Well, as I said, we love the film. You'll have such a good time when you see this. And we hear that before the movie began, you gave Anne, you must have been so intimidated, a little advice. What advice?
What'd you tell him?
Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I said, I don't know. I said, don't lose weight, A. But B, I said, because they were all telling her to. Yes. Remember that?
Well,
when
yeah.
You came to my house and you looked
told
so beautiful.
And you told me to eat a hamburger.
Because they were all saying, oh, maybe you want to lose a little, Anne, you know.
That makes
I
sense. Is that what they really told you?
Did they tell you to lose weight too?
They wouldn't dare.
In the film, Meryl. I mean, you always look skinny, but you look skinny in the movie.
I lost 7 pounds. It killed me.
It killed you.
And it's almost all back, so
good.
What the hell with it.
Good. I'm glad.
I don't know how anybody can tell this beautiful girl anything. After all, she's the princess, got the prince and the kingdom and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, but you had to lose weight in the film.
I did. I wound up, well, it was a bit complicated because actually initially they asked me to gain weight. So, and I was a little underweight because of a surgery that I'd had. And so I wound up gaining 10 pounds from the point that I was. And then I went to my first costume fitting and couture didn't fit. So then I had to lose the 10 pounds again. And yeah, there were tears.
So, how did you know when you completed a scene? I'm curious. You're a young actress. How do you know? They take 10, take 20. How do you know when you've done it?
Well, at certain times you never really know that you did. You're kind of just trusting the director. But as I've told you a few times, whenever I did a scene with Meryl, I knew that we were ready to move on and check the gate because I was ready to vomit. Because she was so good in her character that she literally made me feel sick.
Yes, really.
Because she was constantly
insulting you and calling you names, reminding you that you were incompetent.
And just, you know, sticking the skewer into the heart just a little bit more.
And there were some scenes, boy, when she sends you into Stanley Tucci's office, you're about ready to quit. Meryl, your character, Miranda Priestley, in a word, is a B. I mean, she's tough as nails, but she never met a young girl she didn't like to skewer and barbecue. I mean, was it fun to play such a ruthless person? Had to be, because we loved her.
It wasn't that much fun because Stanley and Anne and the fabulous Emily Blunt, who plays
Number one assistant.
Number one Emily.
It's hilarious.
She's divine, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's wonderful. And they were all having fun over in the corner and laughing and scratching, and I just sort of, that's my favorite part of making a movie, usually, is the stuff
But did you have
that's in between.
to stay in the role?
I didn't stay in the role, but it didn't help the dynamic if I came over and, you know, it was like trying to have fun.
By the end, you kind of, you allowed yourself more fun.
I was miserable. I really was. I was miserable.
Yeah, but they're talking about
But
an
you
Oscar
were miserable
for you.
making the film, or you were miserable as a character?
I don't know how to divide it up.
Really? So it was not a happy time?
It was not. It's not a happy woman. It's an accomplished woman.
Yeah.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, and what
And
you
she
give
does
up?
come
Well
across
dressed,
very lonely.
accomplished, but you know, yeah, there's stuff that's missing.
Speaking of well-dressed, did you get to keep the clothes?
We auctioned the clothes off to benefit breast cancer research
Dress for Success.
and Equality Now.
Yeah.
Well, we're not letting them go because we love Meryl and her sweet disposition, and we love Anne. And when we come back, we're going to be joined by their co-star, Stanley Tucci. So stay with us.